Yo, I'm Drunky.
I'm the Flood.
And welcome to the Fortnite Update, where we talk about all the news, eSports, and patch notes related to Fortnite. It is on March 7th. This is episode 28 of the podcast. Let's start the show. All right, Flood, it is a brand new week in Fortnite. We have a brand new patch. Patch 8.1 has come to us. And, well, it's a little light, but it brings a lot with it. It's kind of weird. Like, the patch notes are light, but a lot of content on the inside of it.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, 8 was a big boy, so I feel like this is fine. We need a few little small tweaks. Everyone can get used to 8. Everyone can settle in a little bit. This is good. This is good. I'm okay with this.
Yeah. All right, so let's start with probably the biggest change to Fortnite we've seen in 8 seasons with the gameplay. Increase the angle at which you can slide down terrain without taking fall damage from 65 degrees to 75 degrees. This is actually a huge change that I don't think it's like you don't notice it because you're just going to be happier, you know?
You know what? It's funny though. Like I noticed it because I hadn't read the patch notes when I started playing. I started playing and there was a few times when I fell and slid and I just felt okay. Like I felt good. And I was like, oh man, I'm moving fast. Things are going. I mean, Fortnite feels really good right now. And it didn't occur to me what had changed. Like, this is one of those really subtle things, but it works.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those things where, you know, I in the tournaments and stuff yesterday, I see people sliding or falling. I'm like, how the hell didn't they take damage? And then I was looking at the patch notes this morning. I was like, okay.
Yeah, no, as you say that, and as you read the patch notes, it's like, oh, it all makes sense now. Because you just have moments in a game where you're like, oh, wait, I'm okay, I'm good. And then you start to feel more comfortable, and it just starts it's great. I love it.
This is one of those like weird like apexing of Fortnite where it's like we don't like fall damage. Like fall damage isn't fun. It takes away momentum from the game, especially in a game like this where you are building off some pretty steep hills. It just alleviates it more. Great change, man.
And it's almost like it's really fun when you go down hills to have momentum and keep going and go faster. It's weird. I don't know. It's almost like some kind of mechanic or I don't know.
You know the slide button's coming. All right, let's talk about the weapons and the items in patch 8.1. Buried treasure has been added to the map. Yes. It is a map that is used to track down buried chests on the map. The chests contain a trove of legendary loot. X marks the spot. The chest must be dug up using a pickaxe. There is a limit to 1 map held at a time. Legendary rarity can be found on floor loot and chests. Crazy item, like very, very crazy item, man.
Wild. It's absolutely wild. Came out of left field for me. Like, I mean, other than them copying everything in Sea of Thieves right now, which is hysterical to me, and I love it. I can't believe everyone's like, Sea of Thieves, baby. Yep. That was the real threat all along.
Dude, they have been addicted to Sea of Thieves over Epic. Like, they must always just be playing it at their homes, you know? Because
100%. They're all watching Sea's Pirate. Like, it's so funny, man. I don't know. It's making me laugh so hard. But I was actually blown away by this. The first time I saw it, I died to someone who had one, and I was like, why are you going back in the storm, you nutcase? And then he started picking, and I was like, what's going on? So then I got one myself, and I realized what was happening, and it was it's pretty worthwhile. Like, you get 3 gold items and like a heal. Huge. Like it's crazy. I would really like a new sound effect though. Every time I whip it out, I whip out the map.
How dare you?
Every time I pull out the map, I swear to God, it sounds like someone is driftboarding by me, like boosting, and it scared the crap out of me the first couple times I pulled out the map. I was like, what? Oh, okay, good. Because I was like in a house and I pulled it. I was like, oh, someone's outside. And then I like immediately got my gun out and I was like worried and I hadn't realized what was going on with the map. And but the maps are neat.
They're neat. I mean, we went from not having a ton of RPGs in this game to like now there's like quite a few RPGs in the in-game. People who like search for these treasures, they get really good loot. Because what you're talking about is golden AKs, golden scars, RPGs, golden heavy snipers, and these are things that like in the meta right now in like the loot economy you're just not finding. You're not finding gold AKs, you're not finding golden scars, and then all of a sudden these people who have this map, which is an item slot, like that's a value cost that you're carrying this around for so long and not picking up like heals or something. They get rewarded massively for this.
100%, but I think that's a good thing. Like that, it's kind of what the loot drops were, but the loot drops are almost nerfed because you can see them on the mini map now, right? Because of that, everyone can camp them. It's a lot easier to know what's going on with that. So now you've got this added way if you want to go out of your way to get the good stuff, and you do have to go find it. And sometimes, like I had one where it was in the middle of Salty Spring, in the middle of it, like that was a bad one to get. I looked at it, I was like, I want it, and then I built out a little roof and I tried, and then I got into a fight. It was horrible, but it was fun and it was worth it. Like I wanted it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's crazy how good these are. These are what
they
we
have
want
to be, though.
These are what we want supply drops to be. Like, we wanted people to fight over supply drops. Why couldn't this be the supply drop loot? Because this loot is insane, bro.
Yeah, it's nuts. And every time I've done it, I've had 3 gold weapons. I've never had an RPG yet, weirdly enough. It's always like gold Scar, gold heavy sniper, gold P90. Every time. That's what I get, pretty much.
It's crazy, bro. And,
plus heals.
It was funny because everyone kept talking about it was like Sea of Thieves. I was like, yeah, but it's just like an X marks a spot thing. Like, that's a pirate theme. Sea of Thieves has its own pirates. And I was like, oh,
but
I had to swing my
pickaxe them out and it comes up with barnacles, I was just howling, man. Yeah, but I don't think this is bad because you have to go find it in weird spots. They often get zoned out.
Yeah,
I think this is good. Like, I think this is kind of a fun way to add more interesting loot to the thing, and also a little bit of RNG in terms of like someone out there's gonna get good loot. Like,
yeah, it
could be anyone.
Is 100% an out of the box item that you wouldn't think would be in a BR. So kudos. I mean, it's one thing to say they just like ripped off Sea of Thieves, but to actually think about this, implement it, and make it like balanced and work. Like, great job, Epic. It's a fun item, and I love it. The only thing I really want, I want my flippin' sexy emote to just let me stay on the ground and lay down so I can tuck and like try to sneak up on people who are trying to get these treasures. Like, I know where it is, other people do too.
We keep getting these buffs to infinite dab hour by hour longer. Where's our flipping sexy buffs? Come on, guys.
Thank you. I'm gonna lay on the floor and like be overpowered, please. Thank you. Whew. All right, let's move on. The next thing is the reduced infantry rifle availability. Reduce the chance of receiving an infantry rifle from the chest from 14.41 to 13.39. Reduce the chance of receiving an infantry rifle from floor loot from 2.41, wait for it, to 2.24. Stop trying to make infantry rifles a thing. They're never going to be a thing. Like,
it's the most hated item in the game right now, I think, in terms of like gun pickups. It's so frustratingly bad. It's so really frustratingly bad.
And the fact that they realize that we're getting these so much, but they just give us these like tiny little adjustments to the floor loot. Like, come on, bro. It's like, no one wants this. Like, just, if you want us to have a bad weapon, vault the infantry rifle and bring the burst back, and it'll be okay. Like, we'll accept it,
Okay, devil's advocate here. My past little couple days of playing, I haven't noticed them being a problem. There's only been a couple times where I grabbed one and it was like the only gun I could find off the hop.
Yeah.
And I was able to dink a guy once for like 25 damage or whatever the hell it does, something garbagey.
Okay. And
then like I still was able to run and grab something else pretty quickly. Like there was always, I didn't notice an overwhelming number of them lately. Sure. So like it hasn't, I mean, at least you've got a gun. It's a scuffed gun, but you can make it work maybe. But like, dude, I do hate it, but like maybe it's good to have one bad gun. I don't know.
No, it's no one should have this bad of a gun. The bad gun should be the common pistol, which I think everyone would agree they would rather have than the infantry. Like
that's because the common pistol's really good.
Well, yeah, but like that should be the bad gun of it. Like it's not the gun.
They need to nerf the pistol. You know what I mean? Because that thing's a beast.
Yeah, but if you get an AR over a pistol, like if you go into that fight, you lose. You kind of deserve to lose it. You should statistically win the fight with the AR over the common pistol. Infantry rifle, it's horrible, man. It's a bad gun. It should do way more damage than it does for how much skill it takes. And honestly, I think my biggest problem with it is that it looks like an infantry rifle. This thing looks like a hunting rifle. It looks like a pump shotgun. And so when I'm dropping on it, I don't know what I'm getting. Like I'm just
that's the worst part of it. 100%. It drives me crazy. How many times I'm like, wait, do I have a hunting rifle?
Yeah.
I've actually swapped to my hunting rifle slot and been like, oh no, god damn it, I didn't notice.
And like
it was an infantry.
The weirdest part is this is like basically how the infantry rifle works is how a revolver should work. So why didn't they just bring the revolver back and give us old revolver damage with the infantry rifle mechanics? Because like it's 5 shots or whatever. It's a projectile. This is what we've been asking for, but because we see so many infantry rifles and the damage is like 45 to a body for having to lead a shot. It's a little too much, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't love it. I was just
don't play devil's advocate with me. I'll never forgive you. Okay, I can't do thought experiments.
I will do this all day long. We're going to open your mind, drunkie. All
right, next up, the reduced clinger availability has been put into the patch. They have reduced clingers from chest from 9.4 to 5.5 and from floor loot from 1.2 to 1.0. Clingers still in the game, man.
And did not notice the difference, honestly. I remember walking by some clingers in a game yesterday. I see a stack of 3. I'm like, nah, I'm going to keep my stinkers for now. I walk out. There's 3 more. Oh, I walked a little further. There's 3 more. I was like, they were everywhere.
Yeah.
Like I could have had 9 clingers like that weren't coming out of Shifty, like nothing. Like they were everywhere.
I definitely think this more has to do with being able to get shields and stuff out of chests and heals versus like this massive, the chest is what really got nerfed. Still surprised clingers are in the game still. They're, I think everyone would agree grenades are a lot nicer to have and to fight against. I'm not a big fan of the clinger, man. Like it's just
yeah, it's weird because we don't have any other hand-based explosive, really, right? Like we lost the other ones. I for some reason I hate clingers less than I used to, and I used to despise clingers.
Oh God!
But for some reason lately,
I'm trying to throw you a bone
one and
here.
only. I know, but the thing is, they don't bounce awkwardly. They hit the thing, and you know what's going on. I don't know. There's something that I'm like, they're not the worst one, and there is definitely an availability. Speaking to the actual note, I don't know. It seems like I'm getting minis a lot more, and I'm down.
Yeah,
I'm into it.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I was noticing that it seemed like there was minis everywhere, and I'm into it because like that should never be your problem. You should never be having to hunt those things. They should just be everywhere. It's good.
And let's take off the 50 limit on minis, please. Thank you.
That'd be insane and amazing.
All right, next thing, hitting the vault. The bottle rockets are no longer in the game.
Oh yeah,
pretty surprising. It seemed like they were amped up for this item.
I mean, nah, this is good.
No, it's great. It's great.
Those things are stupid.
Like, you rarely kill somebody. You rarely kill someone. They really don't do damage to builds. Like you can fight against them, and all they did was just like noise pollution. That's all it was. Which
I actually use them for every now and again. I'm like, I'm going to throw this down so I can run around the house and he won't know where I am. Like, that kind of shenanigans. But like, they were weird. And I can't believe that these are here, but Dynamite's still here. Like, it's kind of like, why are there hand explodes? Why are there clingers but no hand explodes? Like, some of the decisions, I'm like, I'm not 100% sure why, but I mean, I hope they have a plan. You know, that's cool.
I think their plan is just to kind of give variety based around, we're going to go back from clingers to grenades, like back and forth. So we don't have like a set grenade meta, you know what I mean? But in the meantime, I'm getting stuck in my ankle for 100 damage.
Actually getting stuck is the worst and that's what used to make me hate clingers. And the hitbox used to feel really weird. It doesn't seem as crazy to me anymore for some reason. I don't know if they fixed something or adjusted that. Maybe they didn't, it's in my head, but it used to feel crazy. Like I would hit here and it would go whoop.
Yeah.
I was like, that's not right. Like that's not correct. Absolutely. Something's wrong here.
And then they did say they fixed the bug where you would get damage through a wall with the clinger. I still feel like sometimes I get damage through a wall. I don't know if it's true or not, but like I feel like I've had instances where I'm like, I shouldn't take damage from that. I just should not take damage from that.
Yeah, tough call. Not sure.
All right, let's move into audio real quick. Handful of audio adjustments. I'm just gonna roll through all of these.
Please.
Improvement to the standard AR sound, so it's not as overbearing on the shooter. The sound made when a player destroys a structure is now louder when instigated by enemies. This is good for when someone knocks out a wall behind you. You can actually tell it now. Footsteps, audio blends for the above and below layers, rather than binarily switching between them. I don't even know what this means. We need like an audio expert for this. Footstep, occlusion, traces from the head of the enemies when they're above or below.
So it's coming from their head. Where their head is at is where the footstep is. So it's either above you or below you based on where their head is.
I guess that's good. That seems nice.
And binary is just yes or no, right?
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Smarty pants. All right. Reduce the volume of the Season 8 Victory Umbrella. We're not jamming that hard anymore, man.
It's a shame because I love that one.
And then for our Switch users, the Season 8 Victory Umbrella now uses the correct sound.
What were they hearing on the Switch? It's like a shark sound or something. The dragon comes out every time a palm front.
No one plays the Switch over at Epic. No one plays it. How does that make it through?
And it is a nightmare, bro.
How does that make it through? Good audio and changes. We're still in a constant flux of audio in this game. Probably still not where everyone wants it to be, but improvements.
It is a little bit better, and I'm probably also slightly getting used to some things. But 8 one of the biggest issues that I had with 8 was the audio. Some of it really sounded like nails on a chalkboard to me, and it sounds a little bit better. Today, you know what I mean? Like
it definitely feels better shooting the AR. It doesn't feel like I'm getting punched in the face by my own AR when I shoot it.
I'm still having issues. Maybe it's because we're constantly changing them with the footsteps. I'm like, wait, is that an above or below? I'm like, I can't remember now. And like, I get a little lost on that still because I feel like I've never gotten comfortable with what they're doing with that. And
Dude,
I don't know.
I would love to sit through a panel or watch a presentation on Epic's audio team on why they can't get footsteps right, the unique challenges that are presented to them, and why they can't do what all the rest of the industry. I would love to see that, bro.
I would also like them to just put out like a quick YouTube tutorial on it every week whenever they update something, just showing it and hearing it so you know what it means.
Yeah.
Like, this is what this means to you, and like show me so I can see it and hear it and understand what's going on. And maybe I'm just a dum-dum, but like put out a weekly YouTube Epic, guys. Like that, why not? That would be you get great YouTube views, like you want them. Go
monetize.
Yeah, right. And like it would help your player base, like especially your casual base and the dum-dums like me who need that kind of stuff, man.
It really would, because I think it takes me about 3 weeks to like figure out what the sounds mean. I'm like, above, like it sounds bassier, but it's more echoey. Is that a below?
Yeah, like, and I've had moments where I'm like, that sounds like it's a below. It has to be below. But then I was like, oh crap, he was above, or he was outside above me, and but I'm still not comfortable with it for some reason because it's never felt solid. Like it's never felt like this is what it is.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Like, I feel like they explain this stuff in real world terms for you. And I'm like, I don't know. I really never paid attention when someone was on the second floor of my house. I really don't know the difference between someone in my upper floor and my basement, man. Like it just.
Yeah. And I think it is there. I mean, it's just like you're so in the fight most of the time that I'm not really paying enough attention. Just give me once a week, drop a little tutorial on us, or once every 2 weeks, whenever there's an update with this kind of stuff. Drop us a little tutorial, guys. That's a great idea, Epic. Listen to us, please.
And I have noticed this. It's harder this patch to have music on because the footsteps sound more like the music that you're listening to. Like
so much, dude. So many songs that I have in the background now. I'm like, wait.
Yeah. Yep.
No. Okay. Wait.
This is a brand new thing, man. I'm like, I really can't listen to music.
Shots in the distance, stuff like that. Like,
yes.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
There's so many songs now where I'm like, shots in the distance. Oh no, wait, that's just okay.
They're trying to nerf us from enjoying music while we listen to these games.
Why do you hate music?
Because they just want us to clip this stuff. They don't want music behind it. It's a conspiracy. All right, let's move into the big part of patch 8.1, the Gauntlet solo and duo test events. This is a brand new tournament type that they are testing for the next Wednesday and Thursday from when you're hearing this podcast.
Yeah.
Here is how the scoring works. So a victory Royale will be 3 points. Second place is 2 points. 6 through 10 is 2 points, and 11 through 25th is 3 points. So top 25, you're getting 3 points automatically. 10 is 2, 5 is 2, Victory Royale is 3. Each elimination is worth 1 point, which is crazy.
That is what was crazy. The moment you read that, you're like, wait, what?
Yeah, that is crazy. And then the big part about the Gauntlet, every time you step onto the bus, you are deducted 2 points for a bus fare. This event is not limited by the amount of matches that you can play. It is totally based on how many matches are you losing to keep your. It's basically, so to speak, a ranking system because of the bus fare. What do you think about the Gauntlet tournament, man?
I'm so far loving it. I don't know if I'm missing something, but I love it. I think the bus fare is hilarious. It's just a cute way to say an ante for every game. And maybe it's because I had played a lot of poker in my day, but like I'm very comfortable with paying an ante. You know what I mean? If you want it, you got to pay to play, baby. You got to pay to play. And this is them experimenting with a way to punish everyone who's just going to go to Tilted and go for high kill games.
Yeah.
If you scuff that drop, you're out and you just lost points, right? If you scuff that drop, you lose your out points. So if you're going to land somewhere spicy and you're going to go for those high risk games, at least you put something on the line now. Yeah. You know what I mean? You didn't just put down, one of my 25 matches. No, now you're like, there's something on the line. And it's only it's 2 points. So the guys who are crazy, they're still going to dominate these things and come out way ahead. The guys that aren't crazy probably shouldn't be dropping there.
Yeah.
The fact that it's top 25 gets you 3 points, and that automatically means you paid for your bus fare and you get 1 point positive just for existing to top 25 is amazing, because it means that the lobby, even though there's still going to be hot droppers, you're still going to lose half the lobby really quick, but everyone still wants to at least exist into that. And it takes, I love the way it works with the playing field so far. Like in my level of play, it's amazing and I'm enjoying it a lot.
It is.
Now, it's weird that it doesn't end at, like, it says 6 p.m.
Yeah.
So I thought I was done at 6. I was like, oh, I'm done. I was like, oh no, it's 6 p.m. on Friday. And a lot of people were complaining at first, like, oh, all my kids are at school, they won't be able to play. I'm at work, I can't play. But that's not the reality. The reality is play anytime. Everyone's like, well, only people who grind it all day long are going to be able to get the points because they'll just sit in the thing and get top 25. No, because it gets harder as you get higher in points. The queue times are a problem. And like I managed to get top 1% in 2.5 hours.
Yeah, it is,
I'm not that good, but I did it.
So the top 5%, people will move on to the Gauntlet Finals tournament. I think that they are banking on this being like 3,000 players, because further on in the patch notes says the top 3,000 players in each server region will advance to round 2 on Sunday.
Sure.
Oh, never mind. All right, so the top 5% of the player base will move on to the Gauntlet Duos and Finals, and then the round 2 will be for the top 3,000 players in that bracket.
Got it.
Last I checked, with all these people playing in the solos, I was, easily in the top 2,000. So even with that, you're easily moving on to these rounds if you know what you're doing. It's a thing where it's like you kind of underestimate how bad the player base is and how easy it is to move up in the numbers if you know what you're doing in these games. If you're not hot dropping, if you take your time, if you think about it, you will easily be in the top 5% and probably the top 3,000.
Exactly. This is the first round. This is 101 stuff. Like maybe you don't drop as well as you think you do. And this is teaching you that. Yeah. Just get your drops right. Dude. If you get your drops right, you're halfway there. If you can survive half the game, you're pretty much making it. Like it's not that, like, I'm not that good of a player. Top 1%. Like, dude.
And dude, the worst part is I wish I'd never played Apex, because what I have learned is that my drop is completely destroyed. 95% of these people I'm dropping in with are like getting a better drop than me. I'm like, I guess I'll just go to this random house out in the middle of nowhere and get one gun. And then make it a top 25.
That is a lesson though. Like how important is that? Like that's basic 101 shit, man. Like where you're like, oh no, I'm dropping short. Don't still go to that POI. Yeah. Run to a hut and get a great pistol and then keep running, mother. Like, dude. Like that's how you survive. This is a BR, baby.
I love it. The point system. Getting the top 25 earning 3 points is one of the best point things they've ever done. If people are hot dropping, rarely are they coming out with 3 kills. Rarely. And, to add maybe 5 kills, that is a slim margin for people that are hot dropping to come out of like tilted with 5 kills. So them putting the point threshold at 3 points for the top 25 is a real understanding that they have taken a look at all the data they've been collecting throughout all these events and seeing where people's eliminations and their placements are, because this is the fairest point system I think I've ever seen when it comes to an average player trying to see how get into more serious games.
And again, like there's a statistical element to this we were talking about a little bit earlier. The people who are complaining because like, oh, the people who just grind it for 48 hours are going to be on top. Not really. The more games you play, the more it evens out where you actually should land. There's less anomalies the more games they play. Yep. So the reality is they're either actually good or they're actually bad. And that's what you discover. I'm sure there might be some ways to tweak this system or game the system a little bit. But like this seems so far where it's at currently as one of the best that I've ever seen them do so far.
Yeah, and then like some of the points that are being put up already in this thing are astronomical, because like
bonkers. The top guy's over 300 points.
That's insanity, dude.
My favorite part about that, and this is one of the tweaks, is that he only has like 15 wins and he's got 300 points. So I'm like, if you're the number 1 in the world and you've got 15 wins only, maybe wins need to be heightened like a little bit. Maybe they need to be worth like 1 extra point. I don't know. Some like just a touch more.
Because like 15 wins, like, dude, that is a massive amount of wins for this tournament where everyone's taking it serious, Everyone's like on it, everyone wants it, and like 15 wins is nuts, bro.
15 wins is nuts, but I just feel like 15 wins, he should be even, I don't know, like,
he should be
that doesn't seem like that many for that many points. Like, I don't know.
Here's another thing. If we're going to use this as like a ranking system, I would like the numbers to be jacked up a lot more, because I don't want to have to swing between 40 and 20 and feel bad about myself for the rest of the day. I'd rather swing between like 500 and like, 450 or something. Like, maybe 3,000. So I'm like, all right, well, I got 2,500 points.
Maybe if you played a little more consistently, Drunky, okay?
How dare you, man? All right, look, my biggest weakness is consistency, but I'm out here trying every day.
Consistency.
Anyway. All right, I think that's gonna do it for.
There's like 1,000 things right now on the Fortnite van for revives.
Oh, is there really?
I've been seeing it everywhere. There's like a picture of a van, and I don't know, it's all just leak sites and Instagram reposts. I think we got to address this. What are your thoughts on a revive system a la Apex that everyone is, saying they just ripped it off in Apex? Then there's people saying they've been working on it for many seasons. Yeah. I don't know. I don't care.
Saying that they ripped it off Apex is like, it's an obvious statement to make, but I think this is something that every developer who's made a BR kind of thinks about, is how to bring people back into the game after someone got thirsty or whatever. This is an obvious step in the direction for the BR, and I think Apex pulled the trigger first on it, so they do get credit for that. 100%. But the idea in general, it's definitely needed. You are, thirsting now in Fortnite is not just a random occurrence by someone being malicious or whatever, not even malicious, just, trying to be
a jerk.
It is a legitimate tactic that will get you health and mats. So a thirst is a guarantee when you go down. I 100% think they should bring respawns in some way.
I agree. Yeah, I think Apex was just us seeing the maturation of the BR genre. Like it's maturing in a new area.
Absolutely,
and that's going to trickle down to all of them. So everyone talking about ripoffs, I don't care about ripoffs because I don't think that's really what's going on. I think these are just quality of life things within Battle Royale that will disseminate to everyone eventually. So I'm pumped about it. I think it's going to be great. I don't play a lot of squads and stuff, but I think in squads it'll be amazing, because I remember always hating getting knocked first. Like you happen to have a bad drop, something you get one pumped, and the rest you just watch your team the rest of the day. Like that's boring.
It is boring, and especially for we play the game a little bit more seriously because we play for hours on end. What about the people who are more casual? They get on to play with their friends. They get down. They got an hour, maybe two, to play this game, and then they get down, and they're not playing the game
for like 30 minutes or half an hour or 20 minutes or whatever it is. Yeah.
It could be like 2/3 of their playtime is them and not playing the game. That's why people love playing Apex with their friends. That's why it's doing so well for itself. It's because it has a mechanic that is built in for people who play together to keep playing it.
It gives you stakes too. Like even if you're not, you like watching to see if your team is going to get you.
Yes. As
a teammate who's going to get them, like you've got this new objective. Like, can I get their thing in time to save them and bring them back before the storm calls it or whatever? Mm-hmm. Like it just adds a little extra something to the game that I think is really fun. It's just one more objective built into it that is sensible, and I enjoy it. So I'm really excited for this to come. I think that van system, they look neat. They look a little fun. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I mean, I hope Epic doesn't try to spend it too much and have their own unique Epic take on it that kind of makes it not good.
Yeah,
I worry about that with developers. Just if you're gonna do it, Apex has a great system. Just take that system, implement it. Every mechanic behind it works. Like you said, it builds a moment. Everything about it is just good. And I'm getting nervous about them trying to we're gonna do it this way though, and it's just like. Yeah, but that kind of ruins it now.
Now that I think about it, it's the little objective things that I'm starting to like. It's the X marks the spot. I kind of like it. Mm-hmm. Going to revive your friend. It's these weird little objectives that are built in that add to the game. This is the PvE stuff that we want, not zombies.
Thank you. Thank you, Flood. All right, I'm going to leave it there. This is the PvE stuff that we want, not zombies. All right, episode 28 of the Fortnite Update is in the bag. My name is Drunky. You can find me on twitch.tv/Drunky and my co-host, The Flood.
Twitch.tv/The Flood.
All right, we'll see you guys on episode 29 next week. Bye, everybody.